us a little bit why it's important that businesses are social today?
Well, I think the major reason is because the customers are social, the employees are social. And so organizations need to take that into account and think about how they're going to engage them and involve them. Because if you just turn a blind eye, I hear some organizations will actually say, look, we have this internal social networks and everything, so we can use them but only talk about work stuff. Or never talk about anything personal on these pages. And I think that's such an abomination in many ways because business is personal, and how can you leave that part of you at the door? And so I think organizations, when they think about becoming a social business, it's not just being on Facebook, it's not just having a tool or a thing in place, it's really about changing everything about the organization to say, how do we take advantage of these natural social connections, leverage them, and also invest heavily in them and create new ways for people to connect. So I think the real opportunity here is when social isn't something that you have to think about. It's not something that's separate. It's something that's like air. That it is in anything and everything that you do becomes second nature, because that is the way we are built as humans. So why not think about it that way right from the very beginning?
Right, so very organic, and therefore organic is authentic.
Exactly,
Yeah.
very well put.
How do you think then that, the organisational culture plays in terms of transforming that business?
Well, I think the culture in particular is what the company does and every day to get work done. It's the way that people connect with each other, it's the work processes, the norms, the way you say hello in the morning or not say hello in the morning. And so the way that if social is going to be embedded, it's going to be impacting the culture and the way we interact with each other. So what's interesting is organizations that go through cultural changes oftentimes look to these social technologies as a way to accelerate it, to emphasize the new behaviors that they want to have. And they also are very cognizant of the things that work and how they can incorporate the things that work in sort of that offline way back into these new social networks. So culture becomes extremely important, and what we find in our research is that companies who have a strong culture anyways towards authenticity and transparency and communication across boundaries, have a reduced power distance, is what we call it, between executives and the front lines, tend to do much, much better with these social networks, because the things that blow up inside of these organizations typically are when culture becomes an issue, when hierarchies have to be shrunk and middle managers wonder, well, what happens to me? Whereas if the middle managers and everybody already have that sort of culture connections that allow these new social bonds to happen, it goes much, much smoother and much faster.